Hey guys, today we're going to be unboxing a WL Toys RC boat, high-speed RC boat as I call it. I'll have a link down in the description where to get this, where to get spare props, parts, etc., all of that. I'll go over why I think it's good for the price. I'll show you guys my brushless conversion that I'm working on and just stuff like that. Any questions or comments, down below in the comment section, you guys can leave those. Description, I'll be linking all this stuff, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. I know I've been gone for a while, and yeah, here you guys go. How's it going, y'all? Today I thought I would do a little review on a little boat that you can get from Costco. It's called the Wavemaster. It's labeled as a high-speed boat. It is a WL Toys, I believe. I will put the model number in the description on what it is so that you can find spare parts. I paid about $45 for this at Costco. There are about 50 on the website for Costco, and I think about 75, 80 on Amazon, and they're labeled under WL Toys. So we'll unbox it. I'll show you everything that it comes with. I'll show you another one that I have a brushless conversion going into. So let's start with the box. Over here they claim that it has a top speed of up to 17 miles an hour. You will get 4 Duracell batteries for the transmitter. It has a water cooling system, self-riding, and it is a 2.4 gigs radio. As you can see here, it looks like we have a top speed up to 17, push button self-riding, proportional steering and speed, just the stuff that's kind of on the front. Up here, or over on the back side, shows you what's contained in the box. I'll show you everything that it comes with. It comes with the stand also, just kind of shows you what everything is looking like. On the other side, same thing. The bottom doesn't really have much. So we'll go ahead here and we'll get it out of the box and show you guys everything it comes with, what it looks like, how long it takes to charge, and all of that good stuff. We will start with the controller and what you receive first. Oh, that fell. Let's see here. Let's start with this box here. This is your accessories. Your battery comes in the boat. This is your charger, just stuff like that. Alright, so the first thing that you're going to get is your manual. It's going to show you just, the basic stuff on charging and whatnot. How to set it up, stuff like that. You don't really need this if you're already in the hobby of RC models and whatnot, like I am. One thing that I will note is that it claims that it takes 200 minutes to charge the battery. So I think that's a little over that's like 2-3-ish hours, I think, somewhere in there. So manual, you don't really need this. Even if you're new to the hobby, you don't necessarily need this. I will show you how to bind the receiver and the controller together, because they do not come pre-bound. You have, to keep moisture out of the box. I don't know what this is. Oh, this is a little video here if you don't want to read the manual, or if you need to. And then here You have a little screwdriver. All of them are Phillips on the boat, all the screws. You get your charging block here, as you can see. This is supposedly does 11 volts. I don't know how true that is. And then it's opened. Here's your actual charger for the battery. It's a balance lead charger. The battery is a 7.4 volt lithium ion charger. It's a cheap charger, but it'll do the trick. Then your 4 Duracell batteries right here, and your stand here and spare prop. I will link in the description where you can get spare props. You can actually get parts for this boat that are readily available. So we'll just put this over to the side here. Take all this trash out and everything. Let's take a look at this boat next. Take a minute for me to get this out here. Should just be able to take it out like that. They do package these things awfully well for what they are, believe it or not, because mostly for the same price, if you buy like a cheap boat from Walmart, you're not gonna really get this quality. It is honestly a little crazy that this boat has some of these features that it has for this price. It has a good amount of weight to it. You get a prop guard, stuff like that, plastic rudder, the shaft for the prop, that's all metal. I'll take the stand off from my other boat. As you can see, here's the assembled stand. It's just a little plastic flimsy stand. It does have LEDs in it. Front LEDs, rear LEDs, you can disconnect them. This is also just a little rubber protector. It's kind of nice if you're in a pool or something, or if you're learning how to drive it. It's quite useful. It just has a little hole that you just kind of push it into, and there you go. Now, to get the body off, or the cover, whatever you want to call it in this case, just gonna flip this tab that it's out, slide it back, and you're gonna make sure that when these are like this, when they're turned inwards, this is locked. So when they're out, they are unlocked. So as we can see, we have the boat here. I actually can show you what each individual electronic piece will look like when you receive this. So we'll start with the battery. You can get it out, it's a little challenging. So this is just a 7.4 volt lithium ion battery. Got XT60 batteries, which are actually kind of nice because you could actually run like a decent battery in this if you have the right voltage and whatnot. I think it will do LiPo also, I think. I'm not really an electric guy, as you guys know. I'm more nitro. That's really all I've done in this hobby, is nitro everything. So yeah, so XT60 heads, 7.4 volt lithium ion battery. You get a brushed motor. It's like a 555 or a 550 size motor. I can actually show you what this will look like. It's about, you could actually fit a brushed Traxxas system in here if you wanted to, and whatnot. They actually do make this thing fairly waterproof. Also, I'll show you guys some of the like the receiver box and whatnot later. But yeah, so you get water cooling with this motor also. All that really is right here. You got a little cut. What is that? Little water spigot or something like that. I don't know. Forces water through here, through this pipe, comes up here, wraps around the motor, shoots out on this side. You actually do get an actual servo. I know a lot of the cheap boats just kind of like to run, well, I know a servo is a motor, but they just kind of like to run the cheapest thing possible. It actually is a micro servo, so you could actually put, or a mini servo, you could actually put a Spectrum servo in there if you wanted to, like one off the Mini T and stuff like that. Yeah, it's actually not half bad for what you're getting. I honestly think it's one of the best boats that you could get for about $100. Moving on to the controller, it's cheap, it's light. With the batteries in it, it actually doesn't feel half bad in your hand. Obviously, I have my radio link here. My other boat's actually going on this. I'll show you guys that boat at the end. Yeah, so you got throttle trim here, steering trim, you get your on-off, and then your function button. And with the function button, that actually kind of brings me back to the boat. So in order to turn this boat on, or we'll start with the binding. So to bind this boat, you're going to plug in your battery, and the boat will not turn on until it's in water. So it has to be in water. Once the boat's on, then you're going to hold the function button, turn it on, and it's going to beep a few times. And once it's done beeping and the lights stop flickering, it should be bound to the controller. You know, they should be bound together. And this boat does have a self-righting feature that is just the prop, just kind of pulses and whatnot. And to do that, you're just going to press the function button, or sometimes it'll just automatically self-right itself. I think that also has something to do with the amount of weight, because this thing with the battery in it, it honestly is quite heavy on the bottom. And they do a really good job waterproofing this thing. Obviously, like my other one that I've said, I already took all of that stuff out. As you can see here, here's the box that they use. They use a lot of sealant. Well, I already chipped a lot of this away. It's very nicely waterproofed. It sits just about right up here, and then you're going to have a little cover for the backside of the motor that goes here. It's going to sit just like that, just like so. And your you know, your motor and everything, this is all going to be here together. You could, what I did is, this is like a servo, kind of a bit of an extension here, which I tried saving, but I didn't realize that they just kind of soldered it right to the board, so I'm not really going to bother with that. I have more than enough room to get it to my radio link receiver. But you could unplug this servo, like I said, and put a different servo in it, or you could connect it to a different receiver. You will have to swap the motor over, I think, if you want to put it onto a different receiver. I don't know if this is the ESC for it, or if the board is itself. I'm not really sure. I don't really do electrics, as I've said before. So I think you could probably put it on like a brushed Traxxas ESC or something like that, and use a nice receiver. It is a little sluggish with the steering, I will say, and the response, but it is brushed, so I get it with the throttle. The steering, though, it's kind of limited. That's centered. You're not really going too far with that. Doesn't even do the rudder all the way. When I put it on my radio link, I actually got the full response. The servo that comes with it is actually quite nice. And yeah. So I don't have any running videos of mine, unfortunately. I've had it for about a week. It's really quick for what it is. It kind of catches you off guard, because, you know, for something of this price, you're kind of like, oh, it's cheap, it's not going to be good. But for this price and what you can do to it, it's honestly, like, I would honestly buy another one of these, and I already have two of them. I have a red one sitting right next to me here. So yeah, I think it's a pretty good deal getting one of these. Oh yeah, you also get a little wrench for the nut on the back for the prop here. But yeah, if you just want something, you know, if you're going to the beach, or you got a little pool or something, and you just kind of want something fun to do, if you're bored and you don't want to spend that much on a boat, because I know the boats can get expensive in this hobby, I think this is perfect for if you're trying to do something like that. I will be taking the red one hopefully to the lake soon. The weather just has not been permitting me to do that. And yeah, we'll move on to the red boat here. You guys will just let me, or just give me a second to swap everything over. I'll get right back to you guys. Alright, so here's my red boat. I actually just picked up the blue one yesterday, or no, a few days ago, believe it or not. I've had this red one since about last weekend. So we'll take this one out. I'll show you guys the brushless conversion. I'll kind of walk you through how to do it a little bit. There are different ways that you can do it. This is the way that I'm doing that. And yeah. Let's see if the battery's in this or not. Actually, I don't know where the battery went that I had in this. Oh well. So what I did here is I took everything out of this except the servo. everything is out of it. Even the water cooling little metal piece that does that little coil or whatever it is. Even though I probably should put that back in to keep this colder, since this is a brushless motor, and you know, heat and about whatnot. You guys get what I'm saying. So what I did here is I took all of this out, everything out, and normally the motor is going to sit in here on this mount this way. What I did is I flipped this mount around, took my soldering iron, and I made some holes to where this would be center with the where the motor would be center with the prop shaft and everything. And then I actually took a cup here, or what is this called? I forget what this was called, and just screwed it onto the motor. It actually lined up like perfectly. I'm gonna put a little bit of glue on there just to hold it. It does have 2 little grub screws in there. But yeah, so it turns over good and everything. It fits in there. It took me a few hours to do this. It was a bit of trial and error getting the motor centered up properly and spacing it well enough to where it wouldn't, because before it was kind of shaking the boat when it was turning over. Just by hand you could feel it shaking it. Now it's a lot smoother. I think it gets caught up a little bit, but I'm not really too concerned. It's a cheap boat. I had these electronics lying around. I don't know why I cut the head off this. It was a while ago. I actually have the head right here that I'm going to resolder on tonight. This is a cheap little brushless kit, or yeah, it's off one of my old planes. Let's see, there's I think that's a model for the motor here. I found them on Amazon pretty cheap. All of this stuff, I think it was like 25 bucks or something for the motor and ESC. Yeah, it's gonna be ran on a Ovonic, I think it is, battery, 3S battery, something like that. I actually normally run my Easy Start on that battery, but we're gonna see how this works out. It might shred itself to pieces, but who cares? I could just buy another one. The blue one's gonna stay brushed, but yeah. So I have seen there are other people that do the brushless conversion of this. I guess there's actually a racing class around this boat that does a brushless conversion. The only downside with the brushless conversion, I think, would be the fact that if it flips over, I don't think it's really. It might not flip over. You might be able to pulse the prop a little, pulse the motor, and get it back over, because I think that's what it did when it was brushed, because it doesn't have like a little fill port or whatever it is. So yeah, it's pretty light. You could do it really easily. You can still, what I'm gonna do is battery mount's gonna be here, you know, is where it was. You know, I'll have the ESC here, receiver here, and the battery will sit up front. It's a lot more space up there for it. And plus it's a soft pack too, so I don't really want to be squeezing it with this. It won't fit horizontally in here. But yeah, you know, like I said, I don't really have any running footage of this boat, but I'll definitely get some of both of them when I have them out. I'll let you guys know. I have ran this boat when it was brushed, and it moves for being brushed, honestly, and it's actually quite fun. Only thing I don't like about it is a little sluggish with the there's like a bit of delay with the controller. Well, that could just be because it's a boat, because I don't, you know, this is my first boat, and I guess it's a cheap boat that I'm making hobby grade. But yeah, we'll see with the radio link. It seems a lot more responsive with my radio link when I tested the servo, and yeah, I think it's a good price for what they are. I mean, how many boats that you know are gonna, for this price, are gonna come with like an actual semi-decent charger? I know it's a cheap charger, but still, and have water cooling on it and all that good stuff. And it's got weight to it. If I can find my scale, I'll put it on the scale and I'll show you guys how much weight it has. But it feels good. It does not feel cheap, but it's definitely not like hobby grade weight, I guess, if that makes sense. But yeah, I'll let you guys know how it goes. I think it's a great deal if you want something for the, you know, your pool, or You got a little pond or something, or you're going to the beach, or you got a lake near you that you can take it to. I think it's a good deal. And you got a Costco membership. It's a lot cheaper on Costco than buying it on Amazon. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said, I got a few projects come to the channel. That's why I haven't really been uploading. I was at UCC last weekend. I had some stuff going on. I will say that the new project is it's for the crawlers, and it's quite a big project. One of my biggest projects I think I've done for RCs in a long time, and that's coming from someone who does multi-engine T-Max builds. But yeah, so thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if there's any other questions down below in the comments. I'll do my best to answer them. I'll put some links to where you can find these boats, where you can find the spare props if you somehow manage to break the 2 that it comes with. And yeah, alright, I might also link the brushless motor if I can find it. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys have a good one. Stay safe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.